Hello everyone, welcome back to your favorite news source, A Canadian's Perspective podcast. My name is Michael Harris and I'll be explaining the government perspectives in today's episode titled, Breaking the Chains, Opioid Crisis Unraveled. Today I will be joined by Tristan. Come on and introduce yourself, sir.
Hello viewers, my name is Tristan. I will be today's informed voice on the Indigenous perspective on today's topic.
Welcome. Today we'll be tackling the issues of the Canadian opioid crisis. With further points on that, I invite you, Tristan, to give us a bit of a rundown on your thoughts concerning this crisis and perhaps also some information on whom exactly this is affecting.
Yes, well, just this year, in fact, July to be exact, Treaty 6 Confederation called upon the provincial and federal government to implement measures and supply funding to aid in their fight in what's been deemed a state of emergency. For this community, drug abuse has led to several dire issues, such as life expectancy gaps between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people actually growing to a staggering 18 years now, unfortunately. What, for you then, Michael, would therefore be the next logical steps to take for the government to help in this crisis?
Well, listen here, Tristan, okay? Our government takes this with the utmost concern. Currently, right now, the federal government has already promised $2 billion in aid for the Indigenous peoples and our provinces, with an additional $200 million annually to be given to the Indigenous Health Equity Fund as part of a 10-year health transfer agreement with both our local groups and our provinces. This funding will provide essential and needed aid to our Indigenous communities, welfare programs, and to push the financial burdens off of our municipalities and our provincial government, according to Johnson from the Edmonton Journal.
Well, Michael, I'm certainly glad that you think your government can toss money at whatever it sees, because it certainly seems that that's all it's doing. It's tossing money up into the air with absolutely no hope of it falling into the hands of those that will use it responsibly, properly, and who need it most. Let me take you to a case of Indigenous Nanabush and deer. In this Indigenous precedent, Nanabush disrupts the balance of nature by disrespecting a deer he had slain. With this pertinence, I would argue that the government, without properly setting up measures that aid in Treaty 6 Confederation's Indigenous citizens in the drug issues, and since they just toss money at them instead, it has disrupted the flow of nature, and therefore is indigenously guilty of negligence.
Can I get a source on that?
Yeah, absolutely. John Burroughs, With or Without You. It's all there. Read the story. That's what's happening.
Some of us live in the real world, not this fantasy world that you are describing, okay? Let's look at some cold, hard facts. Our current federal administration follows a liberal ideology. Which, in case you didn't know, Tristan, places a strong emphasis on individual autonomy, equality, and the protection of civil rights. Harm reduction is heavily needed in our society and in our provinces to minimize negative consequences for drug use. And this can only be achieved through massive monetary funding and extra money towards our welfare programs. With liberalism wanting to achieve equality, it is imperative everyone is given equal starting points, and people should have equal opportunities as such to pursue their idea of the good life, according to a martyr from the University of Calgary.
But how is the quality of what you speak being manifestly displayed in this liberal donation of funds? It's not, Michael. It's just not. Liberalism's ideology being based purely on ideas of individualism, especially to avoid circumstances like Hobbes would state a state of nature, then they should start acting like it and implement measures which actually help people. Michael, of course, I can come to an agreement too, apropos the donation, and the fact that something does have to change. Change is needed.
Yeah.
But I can't see monetary-only policies being the most pragmatic solution to actually solving this crisis. I can't see that at all.
So would you say then, in terms of ending this episode on a good note, that there's certainly prevalent issues at play here, and there's definitely going to be some improvement on both societal level, economic level, and also the federal and government level, that work needs to be done?
Yeah, absolutely.
That we are in accordance then?
I can say that much.